Hi all. Did you know that carrying a katana or a pair of nunchucks or a pair of butterfly swords or just about any martial arts weapon illegally can get you in just as much trouble as if you were carrying an illegal firearm or close to it? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. First and foremost, you should know that martial arts weapons are weapons, and as such, they fall under American laws and the laws of many other countries. Um, in America, as a matter of fact, non-firearms weapons are highly legislated. Uh, this varies sadly from state to state, but you know there are some general rules and principles. The first of which is pretty simple: you should at all times, except in the school or in your home, have your martial arts weapon locked in a locking container. Um, for SCA, for HEMA, many of you already know this, but for those of you who don't, locking golf club cases are great. And for martial artists who carry or practice with the katana, especially live blades, locking um, golf club cases are great. Um, for any other martial arts weapon, especially small martial arts weapons, you'll have to find a box or other suitable container that locks to carry your weapon in. Why? Because people are afraid of them. Um, Martial arts movies in particular have made people terrified of things like nunchucks and shuriken and, um, for some strange reason, daggers. Daggers are illegal as far as I know in all of the 50 states, with the possible exception of Texas. Um, you know, the onus is on you to check your local laws or to check with your instructor and see if he knows what the local laws are. If not, then he should. In all fairness, if you're going to be a martial arts instructor, you're going to have a dojo or a dojang or, you know, well, whatever you want to call it, a gym even, that teaches weapons. And you expect your students to transport those weapons from home to that school. You should know what the transportation laws are. And as a rule of thumb, the transportation laws are that any martial arts weapon has to be locked away. Uh, for swords and things of that nature, it has to be in a locking container locked in your trunk in most states. Now, I'm going to say this so that we all understand each other. I'm not a lawyer. Okay? I've been a martial artist for 41 years. I've practiced in, I think, 18 states, maybe 19 states. Um, and I've had reason to find out what the laws were in most of those states. That's Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, and Northwest. And every one of those states had slightly different weapons carry laws. All of them demanded in one way, shape, or form that they be locked. A very nice policeman let me off by just taking my weapon. If you are carrying a unlocked martial arts weapon and a police officer asks you to surrender it, my advice is to do so, regardless of what it may be. Unless it's like a $2,000, hand forged, 500 layer katana that's, 100 years old. In which case, you might want to, get a lawyer and see if you can get that back. But understand something, you'll probably be locked up that day. It's illegal to carry a katana, it's illegal to carry hook swords, it's illegal to carry tiger tail broadsword, even if they're only aluminum, to and from school without them being locked. It's considered possession of a deadly weapon, just so that you know. In most states, it's considered possession of a deadly weapon. Okay, we've talked about the major stuff. Keeping it locked and why. And if you have questions, I have a comment section. Other than that, I'm going to call this a game. Again, not a lawyer. If you're really concerned, check with the local lawyer, and there's a real possibility that he may not know. I wouldn't check with the local police because, quite honestly, more often than not, they don't know. It's nothing against them, but they're not lawyers. They have a general sense of the law and a general understanding of the law, and under most circumstances, it's enough to get them through the day. But martial arts weapons are a sort of arcane aspect of the law. It took me a lot of effort to find out what I have over the years. I don't go anywhere with a martial arts weapon unlocked, not even a tactical baton, because in my home state, Pennsylvania, tactical batons are illegal to carry, and they're illegal for a civilian to use. I would prefer to carry one by way of comparison to a knife or other knife, handgun, or other weapon. But handguns are perfectly legal in my state. We're a open carry state. Knives are perfectly legal as long as they're of a decent size. But sticks, no way in hell. You're carrying a pair of Eskrima sticks to school in your car. You get pulled over and the officer asks you if you have any weapons in the car, and you say, yeah, I have Eskrima sticks in the back, I'm going to class. You'd better have them locked in something more than one of those stupid leather cases, or you could find yourself in real trouble. That all said, for martial arts instructors, you have a responsibility to check with the lawyer, to drop maybe $500 or $1,000 to find out what the laws are in your particular state or nation. But as a good rule of thumb, in a locked container. And for swords and other things, if you're just carrying one, 4-inch PVC with the cap glued on one end, and I can never get this word right. Okay, but with a threaded coupling, I think it's called, coupling, on the other end, set up in a trap so that you can lock it. That tends to be fine in most states. For spears and other things, you can put them in those and carry them on top of your car, and in most states you'll be legal. Again, check with local laws just to be 100% safe. This goes for Zweihanders and for long swords and other two-handed weapons that might be hard to fit in your car. But again, most people in HEMA and SCA know this. Okay, enough's enough. Again, I have a comment section. If you have questions, I'll try to answer them. Again, not a lawyer, but 41-year martial artist. Lots of states. I actually do know something about this. So thank you. Have a good day. Liz.